All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 143. Greatest show on Mondays, and we're going to get things rocking and rolling because we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. First off, we're going to do our introductions with our tried and true panel members. First off, the Caesar Cinema, the Baron of Britain, Mr. James Wilson.
Hello, ladles and jelly spoons. Hopefully I'm much easier to hear than Anchor is right now. You seem to be having some technical difficulties, so get that fixed. Yep, I'm looking forward to have another good fun week with you guys when I'm not tired and actually here.
All right, and we also have Mr. Samuel Tolbert, the White Wolf. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad to be here.
Let's
get the show on the road.
And we have a guest for the evening, Mr. XBot448, coming back on the Multiverse Show. It's been years at this point. How you doing,
It's been a while. Yo, what is going on, people? I am excited to be back on Multiverse. Like Anchor said, it has been a long time, but I'm so excited. I got one word for it. Battletoads! Let's go, man.
That is 2 words, sir.
No, they're slammed together. It's a conjunction. Is that? Never mind.
Battletoads is pretty. I'm pretty sure that's one word.
It's one word.
It's one word.
The game is one word.
In the land of neutrality, it is one word. Okay.
All right, so we got things rolling tonight. But first off, we have to do the immortal question we ask every single week. What have you guys been playing? And let's do it with our special guest, Mr. XBot. What have you been playing, sir?
Brother, you know me. I'm a Destiny 2 freak, and I gotta say, there is a game has recently come out that has actually pulled me away from Bungie. I have been playing Need for Speed Heat, and it has been absolutely amazing. It is good to see this franchise. This franchise is back with this title. It's got the heart of Need for Speed. The cop chases are incredible, and I'm having a blast, bro.
Nice. All right. And Mr. James Wilson, have you been playing anything, sir?
I have been playing a couple of games. I'm continuing my Bloodborne playthrough. I'm into New Game Plus 3. I'm deep into the Chalice dungeons because I'm finally trying to get the platinum on the game. I don't have it.
Nice.
And you need to go right into the Chalice dungeons to get this secret boss fight.
You know what I hate about that, James? Because I actually did this with Eric Jackson, a good friend of the show and whatnot, and we got the platinums together. And I hate that that's the only trophy that you need to do the Chalice dungeons for. That is so infuriating. It's just at the very, very end, you got to dive down into this ridiculous nonsense. Everything else you can do on your own. Easy.
Yeah, the Chalice dungeons are... It shows you how good a game is when the worst part of the game is something as good as the Chalice dungeons.
Yeah, for sure. I even get the concept behind them, but they overstay their welcome.
This is further proof that whenever it's becoming increasingly easy to answer the question, what is your game of the generation? It's just Bloodborne. I can't see anything else.
Worst picks could be found, dude. Worst picks could be found.
Yeah. I mean, I'm yet to play Death Stranding.
I think it would still be Bloodborne.
All right.
Hey man, weirder things that happen. Like I'm a weird barometer of taste because I like a lot of things that people like, a lot of things that people don't like. I think X-Men: The Last Stand is the best X-Men movie before 2011.
Yeah, you know what? Weird things can be attributed there, so we won't rule anything out.
That's an interesting one.
That's an entire show in and of itself, right there, man.
Yeah, that is an entire show.
I can sum it up very quickly. Here's the thing: I haven't read any X-Men comic, and I never saw the cartoon TV show. I mean, so I have no connection to the Phoenix story.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
When I watch Last Stand, it's a fun movie.
Do you know what the Phoenix story is?
I'm aware of it.
Okay.
But I don't know like any details other than
it's
space.
Drastically different. So.
Oh, I'm well aware of this.
Yeah.
But I'm also well aware that X-Men: The Last Stand is not really... If you look at like screen time, it's not really dedicated to the Phoenix much. It's way more dedicated to this idea of having a cure.
Yeah.
And that movie's great.
I haven't seen that movie in a while now. I might have to
It's
rewatch it just to see.
because everyone went, oh my god, they ruined the Phoenix story. This film's terrible, and completely glossed over every other really good thing in that movie.
To be fair, I do think there's some good stuff in it.
No. I'll say this: everything else in that movie, apart from Halle Berry, is great. Literally everything else, and I mean that. We will do this show. I will happily sit down and do this proper show. I will make a point.
I need to rewatch the first 3 before I jump in that show. I haven't watched them in a very long time, so I would need to rewatch it.
X2 is crazy overrated. Mm-hmm. It's got some great moments in it, and as like an action movie, I think it does hold up. But it's way longer than you think it is. It's way slower than you think it is, and the climax is way worse than you remember it being.
Unfortunately, I actually have to agree with James because I have seen X2 recently, and it's still a good movie.
Oh yeah, still good.
It's still a good movie, but people would say, "Oh, this was the defining moment of superhero cinema." I'm like,
No.
You're remembering several really good scenes that are strung together with some very, very plotting exposition.
Anyone who says X2 is the best of the 2000 era superheroes, nah. No.
Like, didn't it come out in like roughly the same year as the first Spider-Man as well?
I think that is.
It might be the same year. I'm gonna check that
Let me
up.
check real quick. Yeah. Let's see, X2 released.
X-Men 2 was like 2003, and Spider-Man was 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like.
The year after. But then, like, what the year after that was Spider-Man 2.
Oh, there we go.
Nah, that.
There's your boy.
Spider-Man 2 right there, baby.
That ended it there. I was done.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the hammer right there, man.
So anyway,
and also X2, leading on from Death Stranding, written by David Hayter.
Oh, one funny thing too. You know what's just utterly disappointing? So I have the Blu-ray trilogy for Spider-Man, the trilogy.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1, great. So I watched it in this order. I watched it from Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 3, and I was like, I'm gonna end it on Spider-Man 2. It's great. I love that movie. I get to the scene where he has the flashback, made-up internal mental struggle where he's talking to Uncle Ben. Disc is screwed up.
No.
Oh.
After that point, I was like, man.
And let's just be honest. When
it just ruins the entire box set. It ruins the
Spider-Man
entire box
3,
set.
you could just take the Spider-Man 3 and just put it to the side somewhere. You know, you could just enjoy Spider-Man 1 and 2, and that's it, man.
I mean, I like Spider-Man 3. I mean, if it was a longer movie or decided, like, doubled down on what it wanted to be, it would have been great.
Dude, there are so many issues with that movie, in my opinion, anyway,
yeah,
man.
I agree there are issues, but, again, that's another topic. That's a whole nother movie.
Well, Anchor, you know me, man. I will go off.
We should do a special on the early 2000s superhero movies and ranking them.
That's not.
I'll tell you what the best early 2000s superhero movie is: Venom.
What?
Yeah.
I know
so
what
this
you
is my
mean.
thing.
I know what you mean, but
this is XBot. So you haven't been here when I've explained this. Venom is, if Venom was released in 2004, it would have been the best film ever.
Okay.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah, but it wasn't though.
I know, but this is the joke.
You're playing with my brain. You're playing with my brain right now, man.
This is the joke. This is why, like, this is my thing of like, this film is great, but it's so out of touch. It's 15 years too late.
How do you think Woody Harrelson is gonna do as Carnage, man?
I mean, I wasn't looking forward to any of it, and I wasn't convinced that it was going to get a sequel until it made bank. But Andy Serkis is directing it, and he's great.
Okay.
Yep.
And he has history with Woody Harrelson, who was in War of the Planet of the Apes, and he was good in that. So, I am more optimistic than I was. But again, not a comics reader. My knowledge of Carnage is woeful.
I grew up reading comics. My dad was a comic book collector, and I grew up reading, like the first appearance of the black costume with Spider-Man. First appearance of the Punisher. I had first appearance of Wolverine in my hands when I was like 7 years old reading that comic book. and that was the Drifter, by the way. That was yeah. He allowed me to read anything. He was like, eventually they're gonna be yours anyway.
No. Sorry, no one else heard that, right?
No, I heard it. I just have no idea what it was.
Oh, that was my cell phone. You know the Drifter from Destiny 2? He does the Gambit. That's his voice is my notifications on my phone. That's how much I'm into Destiny 2, man. But I put it further away though. Okay, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
we'll be all right. All
right. So Sam, what you been playing, sir?
Truth be told, I have been playing Death Stranding, and at risk of derailing our topics, I love some things about it. I like some things about it. I dislike some things about it. I hate some things about it.
Whoa, he used the H word.
No, I have not felt this complicated about a game in a long time. I'm about 12 hours in, and I still need more time because, I mean, there are some moments here, right, where it feels brilliant, and then there are other moments where I'm like, dear God in heaven, someone allowed this? Like, what are we doing?
Damn,
but then at the same time, when I finally made it to Chapter 3, there's a lot of really cool stuff to unlock, and I'm like, okay, why wasn't this at the beginning of the game? This should have been here originally. Like, Death Stranding does the same obnoxious thing Days Gone did, where it's like, hey, the gameplay loop isn't good until 10 hours in. I don't like that. Please stop doing that. Please, I beg you, don't do that.
Dude, one thing I can say, like, and I know I've gone on record about that game in numerous shows and stuff like that, and it's funny how people will just pick the negatives that I say, from what I've seen so far or whatnot. But like I've said, the world and the reason why everything is going down is really freaking interesting.
It is. No, it's very, very interesting. I love the cutscenes and whatnot. I know the writing can be a bit on the nose with the character names or whatever. I actually don't care about that kind of thing. I'm fine with that. Like the cinematics and the story and stuff.
A baby in a
Actually, yes. It's disgusting, but it is interesting.
Sam, you cut out for a little bit, so we missed the second half of that sentence. That's why.
Dang it. I said, well, what I was saying is, like, there are parts of it that are really, really interesting. I like the world building, even including, a baby in a jar and that sort of thing. Like, it's kind of disgusting, but it actually is interesting. I just wish it didn't take forever for the gameplay loop to actually become bearable. And then it's like, okay, now I get what you're going for. Why weren't we doing this 8 hours ago? I don't know. But I don't really want to say much more about it than that until I get deeper into the story. I'm hearing some interesting but also some conflicting things about the direction the story takes, and I'd like to experience that for myself before I say anything else.
That's fair. Right.
Beyond that, I've also been playing a couple of hours of The Outer Worlds. Nothing more to say there. It's a great RPG. Go play it. That's easy. End of discussion.
Anchorman, I gotta say, Anchorman, when it comes to The Outer Worlds, are you into that? Because I know you are a Fallout fanatic, man.
See, I enjoy the Outer Worlds. I really enjoy what it is. I struggle going back though, because it's a lot of the problem. I mean, the other thing it has going for it is that it's a throwback game. In many respects, it's a throwback to Mass Effect. It's a throwback to the older Fallouts. It's a throwback in pretty much every way. Like the gameplay, the way it's orchestrated and laid out for you. It is a throwback game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that much innovation-wise to justify it, other than the fact that it runs good for the most part. I mean,
it didn't ship broken. That's amazing.
I mean, some people would say it did, but that's another story altogether. Because they're at like a game-breaking bug at the end of the game, so they can't finish the game. So they're very frustrated about that. But the RPG mechanics have been innovated, but I find it hard mentally going backwards.
Brother, at the risk of sounding like a lower IQ'd American gamer, there's just way too much reading in The Outer Worlds for me, man. I don't know what it is. Like I call it the audiobook world. Like that's to me that's what it is. And
is there loads of shooting in it?
I think it's first person as well. So
then it won't be for you. It's not for Americans.
I should like it though, right? I should like it if it's a first person shooter, but for some rhyme or reason, I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Because it doesn't take 10 hours to get good.
Oh, there you go.
So, anyway, that's my only thing about it. It's not. I don't think it's bad. I really like the game. It's hard to get in that mental space to jump back into it because this is the kind of game that you sit down and do it for a couple hours at least.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I played Fallout 76 because I could boot that up, dick around for 20 minutes and be okay. Like I don't have to do much.
Just got a couple little things done. I'm good to go. What else is on the
like? I log in, like I'm doing right now. I log in, set up shop, lay in a bed, and get paid. So, like that's what I do. Like I'm basically an NPC.
You left off the part where you're beating off the hordes who are coming after you for having Fallout first.
Yes, screw them. I don't have Fallout first though. Not yet.
Sure.
Not yet. I will though.
Eventually, if someone cared, I might enjoy that.
Dude, you are the most Fallout obsessed person I know, and that's saying a lot because even the second oldest child here, he is like a huge Fallout fan, and he can't compare to you, Anchorman. He can't.
Oh boy. Anyway, so first little bit here, Sam, we need to work a corporate shill segment here.
Yes,
who's paying the bills this week?
This week, and I cannot actually believe I'm saying this, and I'm the corporate shill. It's the slap chop. You all know what it is. You saw it on TV 20 some odd years ago when you were at your grandparents' house watching stuff, and it's still burned in your brain. It's still there, haunting your very soul, knowing that the product will eventually come for you and you will never escape it. So, go buy one. Go buy a slap chop. We got to pay the bills around here.
1 slap, sliced. 2 slap, diced. 3 slap, minced. 4th slap, sold. All right, so real quick. Also, James, it's my understanding you have seen Dr. Sleep.
I have seen Dr. Sleep, and I have things to say about it.
Please give us time for James's movie corner. Everybody, buckle in.
Yes. So, for those who don't know, Dr. Sleep is the new film that is the sequel to The Shining. To people who are going, they're really cashing in and waiting 40 years to do the sequel. The book of this came out 6 years ago. So there. That I'm bored of people saying that. The interesting thing about this, for anyone who likes good horror, this is directed by a guy called Mike Flanagan. We've talked about him before on the podcast, but highlights of his resume include The Haunting of Hill House. He directed every episode and wrote most of them. He also did a brilliant home invasion movie called Hush, a great ghost movie called Oculus, and another really good Stephen King adaptation called Gerald's Game, which was thought to be completely unadaptable, but he did a really, really good job. And so he was given the reins for Dr. Sleep. This is set many, many years. 1980 is given the canonical date for the Overlook tragedy, and this film is set in 2011. So 31 years completely removed from the Overlook. Dan Torrance, he goes by Dan now instead of Danny. Dan Torrance has sort of taken to alcoholism and begins to work as a caretaker in a hospice, where he finds that he can communicate and help people through their final moments, and he's given the moniker of Dr. Sleep. That's where the title comes from. He still shines and connects through a bunch of people through the connection of The Shining, especially this one girl called Abra. And I'm trying to navigate the spoilers here. Because it's really, really difficult because it's a horror story and you want to have reveals.
Bob and weave.
Yeah, and if you've seen the trailers, there is a group of people who go around and they take the energy and essence out of those who shine. Somehow they have missed Dan Torrance for all of these years, but there is now a ticking clock to stop these people before they get hold of everything. So, there's been a lot of talk about the budget of the movie. It was modestly about 50 million. It's struggling to make its money back domestically. It's only made about 30 in its opening weekend, which is not great, but that's not including worldwide, so it should be okay financially. That's what the majority of people are talking about. The other people are talking about how this film is a bit too Kubrickian, which is stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. You are making a sequel to The Shining. Of course you're going to try and emulate Stanley Kubrick. The important thing that Mike Flanagan's doing, he's not copying. He's taking inspiration from. It's in the trailer, there are scenes in the Overlook Hotel. If you're going to such an iconic film location as the Overlook is, you have when this is a production thing. When they were making the film, they got the exact notes from the production of The Shining, and they remade the set exactly the way it was. Not everything, but most of it. And Mike Flanagan tried to put the camera in a bunch of different places, and found out that the best place to put the camera to shoot these scenes was where Kubrick did it. Not because he wanted to ape the style, but because it just looked better there. So that's when people are saying, oh, it's a bit like the Kubrick movie. I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is. What are you talking about? The good things about this movie do outweigh the bad. If you're going into this movie expecting a fun sequel to The Shining, get ready to be disappointed, because this is way more about these new things and expanding the world than it is retelling the story of The Shining. There is enough things that make its way into the new one from the original to get you invested. It's so weird to talk about this movie without spoiling it, because it's just... I'll skip over to all the impressions, because I can talk about technical stuff and filmmaking and Kubrick influences literally for 3 days straight. I really enjoyed this movie as a movie, but not really as a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's because the kind of horror and scariness and ghost story that it's telling is not designed to scare you. It's designed to upset you and to slightly creep you out, but not in a jump scary kind of way. I don't think there was a single one in this movie. If there was, it wasn't very obvious, and I think that's the point. There's a reason why Dan Torrance works in a hospice, and he's called Dr. Sleep. This film is supposed to be a sort of dream, I think. And I think if you go into this movie with a calm atmosphere, the film will unsettle you, because there are inherently unsettling things. Right at the beginning of the movie, there's a reference that it's said about 20 days after they leave the Overlook, Dan's walking around the house, and he's walking around with the camera following him. He's not on the tricycle, but he's walking around, and he heads into a bathroom, and you see there is someone sitting in the bath, and the hand pulls back, and it's the woman from room 237 outside of the hotel in his house, and that is a scary image. It's not terrifying because you know it's there, and you're in the position of Dan Torrance. As you can see, I really can talk about this movie for a while, so if you guys want to see this movie and we talk about it another time, I'm so down. I do think this movie is worth seeing if you really like The Shining. If you really like horror movies, I'd give it a miss, frankly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's enjoyable. It's not a great horror, scary roller coaster movie.
Well, see, when it comes to scary
but neither
movies,
is The Shining.
I'll say, when it comes to scary movies, like I know a lot of directors, they use the crutch of the jump scare. So I'm actually, it's kind of refreshing to hear like there's not really like jump scares in this movie, but there is definitely like a really kind of like creepy ambiance to it, right?
Yeah, it's not as creepy as The Shining was. No. Because The Shining was set entirely in one location,
well, brother Jack,
and out of the bat, you know that location, there's something wrong with it, because you're watching a horror movie. This film is a lot lighter. in terms of just like the lighting and where it's set. It's in a lot of daytimes, a lot of outside places. But the villains, whenever they appear, it's not fun, like at all. Like they murder a child on screen. And that is upsetting. And the child they murder is played by Jacob Tremblay, and that makes me upset because I love The Room. Sorry, Room. And the villain, and the villain played by Rebecca Ferguson is also called Rose the Hat because she wears a hat all the time, and I just like that.
Dude, you just made this like more interesting, like to me, man. Like I actually. I want to check it out even more now after you said all this, man.
How recently have you watched The Shining?
Oh, dude, it's been a long time.
Watch The Shining before you watch this movie.
All right, I could dig it.
Just to give you just to get you in the mood, mostly. Like watch The Shining, and then a week later, or like a few days later, watch Doctor Sleep. Don't double bill this because you'll feel awful.
Oh damn. Okay.
But yeah, but a big recommend from me if you like horror films and just a well-made film, because it's really easy to make a horror film and then include some jump scares and people go, "Oh, that was scary, wasn't it?" And then you forget the film a couple days later.
Yeah.
I remember images from this film like as if they were paintings. There's stuff in this movie. There's stuff that expands the universe of The Shining really, really well. I'm big into it. Shining, big 2 thumbs up from me. I don't like to give out numbers, but I always do. If I had to give it one, an easy 7.5.
Oh, you use decimals too? Come on, brother. Dude, you made that sound really interesting. Like I thought it would be kind of like your typical horror movie, but with hearing it going kind of like out of that box, but still being an interesting movie, you sparked my interest, brother.
Oh no, it's so not the typical horror movie, and that's the Mike Flanagan effect. And I think easily the weakest parts of the movie are the bits where they talk directly about what happened in The Shining. The strongest parts of this film is when they explore anything else to do with it. And that is the influence of Mike Flanagan. I urge you, if you like the sound of this, watch The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
I watched that, and I will.
The whole thing, or just one?
The whole thing.
Okay.
The whole thing. Me and my wife, we kind of like binge watched it, and you know, it had me for the most part. I will say, I feel like the ending to that series kind of it was a little bit of a letdown to me. I was expecting a lot more craziness to happen, like a lot more, I don't know, kind of like jaw-dropping moments, like leading closer to the end of that series. And I felt like I wasn't getting those moments that I thought we were building up to. But other than that, it was a decent series. Like I don't hold it in high regard, but it was a decent series. I don't regret, watching all the episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get when you. I mean, the book itself is from 1959, so you're working on a story that's that old. Like, but yeah, I maintain that the episode 7, I think it was, in the funeral home, where it's just like 2 or 3 long takes for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it's breathless.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's outstanding. It's the closest that I've ever seen a horror like theater play be portrayed on screen.
And dude, it was funny because that episode is what was getting me to expect like more moments moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was the build up. That episode really hooked me into the series. It's what got me to be, convicted that I am going to go all the way to the end of this story. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what episode you're talking about. It was awesome.
All right. So I gotta wrap this up because we got stuff to do. All right,
dude, you know me, I'm long-winded, brother. I'm long-winded.
I know. So we got a lot of topics. Well, not really a ton of topics, but I kind of want to run through because we want to do the game at the end of the episode. So I actually have a bunch of movies now.
Are there prizes? Are there prizes?
Self-respect.
Oh, I already have that.
But you may lose it after this if you actually know some of these movies. So All right, so real quick stuff I want to bring up. I hope Fame was going to be here because he was the one who brought this to our attention at first. So real quick, Cory Barlog over at Sony Santa Monica has been, ever since God of War won Game of the Year last year at the Game Awards, it's been a pretty big deal. He has kind of become a really, well, I wouldn't say recent, but has recently jumped to one of the highest commodities in the gaming industry. He is, I would say, worth more than Kojima right now, at least on a regular
Rockstar status.
Man. Yeah, on a Rockstar status, sure. So he is doing pretty hot right now. Last week, his Twitter profile just kind of just switched. He traded over to like a picture of a satellite, had a bunch of stars everywhere, and just went blank. And we don't know what's going on. And it's been like that for about a solid week right now.
He's on vacation, man. He's on vacation. That's it. No social media.
Could be. Now, the only thing about that, though, is, I mean, it could be he is on vacation, but I haven't seen him do that kind of thing before. And the fact that it's been this long is really interesting. Now, there's been a couple theories. One of which is that this is something related to a game he's wanted to work on. Because Sony Santa Monica has scrapped a project they were working on before the God of War reboot. And supposedly this might be a tease towards that. I don't get that vibe from this. I don't get it. This doesn't look like a tease. This looks like it's generic cover art and stuff. It doesn't give me that vibe for it. Now, just the other day, Aaron Greenberg and Xbox did their XO19 schedule announcement, and the first thing on the list is redacted.
That's because it's from Bungie. Bungie always redacts like when future exotics and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with Cory. All right, brother.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just messing with you. I'm
we have no reason to believe this. We have no reason to believe this, but
can you say it one more time, Anchor? We have no reason to believe this.
We don't have any reason to believe this, but just humor me for a moment. What if Cory Barlog got poached? Like,
he got ninja'd?
Yeah, got ninja'd. And so just hypothetically speaking for a moment, what if Microsoft, showed up, knocked up at the door and said, "Hey, what if you wanted to have your own studio? Do anything you want. Just make any game you want. Just show up." I mean, Microsoft hasn't been afraid of doing that a lot lately.
I was going to say, they've been doing that quite a lot lately. So
I mean, they've been picking up studios left and right. And here you don't even care about the studio. You just want the person. You just want him. They say, "Hey, we'll build you a studio. We'll get you on board." I mean, it's not uncommon for them to go poach talent at the top of their game. I mean, look what happened over at Mixer. They got Ninja at the top of his game. Then they let Shroud take over as the top streaming person on Twitch. Then they poached him too.
I wouldn't say Ninja's on top of his game, but I hear where you're going.
He was a top streamer. He was a top streamer in the world. And then he got poached. And then Shroud became the top streamer. Then he got taken out. And
then Goth.
Yeah, well, Goth went willingly. He was not paid to do anything.
If I can interject for a moment, I doubt it. Like, I seriously doubt it.
Sure.
Cory has been really happy, but I'll say this: I thought it was a joke at first. When I first saw it happen, I thought, okay, this is some gag. This has been going on for several days now, and I'll freely admit that, okay, if this is a gag, it's just not funny. Like, okay, what are you doing, man? So is something going on? Probably. Who knows? Maybe this is a tease for his sci-fi game. Maybe he got poached by something. Maybe he's doing his own thing going indie. I have no clue. But I do think there's something. I just think we can't really read into it because there's no evidence of anything.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, Anchorman, I think you might sail this ship by yourself at least for now.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I don't see any evidence he's right either. Does that make any sense?
Well, he said that in the beginning.
This is not an official Anchorman Insider post. This is a just what if. You know, in the multiverse, there's different realities, and we dip a toe in each and just see what's going on.
This is a super Stretch Armstrong going on right now, man. Like, you know, when it comes down to it, it'll be interesting to see what's going on. But I can't walk that plank and go out there with you right now just because of this. I mean, it's interesting what is happening, how he changed, you know, his Twitter and all that good stuff. But it could be, and I know you said you didn't get that vibe, but it could be that project that he wanted to do before God of War. You know what I'm saying? Like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know for a fact that Cory has infamously stated, and because I actually disagreed with him at the time, but then later I thought about it, I was like, okay, I get it. He doesn't believe he should be creative director on the next game. He's stated that he thinks that the new trilogy of God of War games should have a different creative director for each game. So definitely could be a case of, hey, we'll give you your own little team over here to try and work on something away from God of War, you know, your own new IP or something like that. I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people ignore that. Like, a lot of people forget that he's actually said
the other thing, and I know
Fame
would bring this up, but he's not here to bring it up, so I'll bring it up. Is that
where is Fame? I mean, come on. I haven't been on this show in how long? And he decides what? He's got to go to Popeyes, get a chicken sandwich or something like that. I mean,
no,
man,
he's doing good work.
I got you.
So the point I'm getting at is that with him, what was it? Because Fame directly asked him about when a God of War was going to be running natively on PC, and the response was kind of half joking but half not joking. I got that kind of vibe from it because he was like, "Oh well, I mean that wasn't my decision, yada yada yada." And we're like, "Ha ha ha, yeah," but you get the impression maybe he wants to spread his craft a little bit more and go to a wider audience. I mean, maybe, I don't know, could be, but. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this too long, but I wanted to bring it up.
Sure.
We had an opportunity.
Definitely something to pay attention to over the next couple of weeks.
That's it. I know what's going on. He's going to Blizzard with my boy Mikey Barr. There you go.
Talk about a twist. Talk about a twist.
No,
ending.
He's a Google Stadia exclusive. You get to stream Cory Barlog in a 24-hour live stream directly to your home. You get to have a controller, and the controller you get to control what his actions are.
Wow.
The highest bidder gets to determine. It's like how Twitch played Twitch plays Pokemon. It's choose an option. What do I do today?
Oh no.
Fun stuff like that.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't. All right, so next little topic we get to discuss. So Google Stadia's lineup has been officially announced. Sam, I believe you have the lineup, sir.
Yes. So I can have it in a second.
Yeah, no problem.
No, he's in a constant state of having. He just has to sort through what he has.
I can hear that in his voice. Actually, it's like, yeah, no problem. Here, right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
Let's go with
it's
that.
Not that great. I'll tell you that much.
It's Red Dead and Friends.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he's not wrong. There's only 12 games. It's Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2, which is the one you get with Stadia Pro and all that. That indie exclusive Guilt, Just Dance 2020, another indie called Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead 2, and then the 3 Tomb Raider games, the trilogy.
Yep.
Samurai Showdown and Thumper.
What about Destiny 2, man?
I said Destiny 2. It's on there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Truth be told, it's not that great.
You can tell they were banking on Doom.
You can, yes. That was exactly what I was going to say, Ivan. You can really tell that they were depending on having Doom coming in just a week or so.
A brand new game coming out. Bam, there it is.
Right. A brand new game launching on there because
you don't need to download nothing. Just play.
This lineup is really weak.
Yeah, and they're all old games. Like, it's old games with no big draws.
Red Dead is nice if you have somehow, like, you didn't play the console version or whatever yet. Like, Red Dead is good, but I don't know. There's so many issues I still have with Stadia's rollout in terms of, what are we doing in terms of subscription? Like, why is it that you only get access to the subscription after you buy the Founders Edition, all that? Why can't people who have a Chromecast buy the controller separately and then sign up? Like, for something that is ostensibly trying to be a big streaming service, you're not making that big of a splash.
I think it's two different reasons. One, they want to limit how many people are going to be streaming all at once. Because just imagine they say, oh yeah, this thing's available to everyone who already has a Chromecast, and like potentially having millions of people streaming at the same time and crashing everything. I think that's part of it. And also, too, just see how popular this thing is. Because, like, you could have a news headline like, oh, Google Stadia Founders Edition sells 10 million units or something like that. Like, just pops out. And it's like, oh, wow, people are actually interested in this sort of thing. And then after that, you don't really care about the sales of the Founders Edition. And you just go based on streaming in the future. But it would be like that. You get to mix around with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, like, with the launch lineup and, buying games and never necessarily downloading them on your hardware and like that, going with the games that you see it releasing with, I'm trying to think of what, like, demographic they're going after right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it feels, XBot, it feels like they are marketing to an audience that doesn't exist. That's the issue for me, is like, this feels targeted towards some group of people that I don't understand who that group is at all. I don't know. I remain to be proven wrong. They're founding their studio. They're hiring in Montreal for game devs now. So
if they had Doom, though, it would be a little more kind of like digestible now.
Yes, exactly. It would be a tiny bit more palatable. Just it would give it maybe that
can't
push.
Wait for Doom. I cannot wait.
Doom Eternal will be phenomenal.
Hell yeah. But and I don't want to see, I love options within the community. I don't want to see any platform fail, but you do kind of have to scratch your head, when it comes down to it. The entire kind of like premise of what they're doing with Stadia, buying your games but never downloading them, but yet there's still a subscription service where you get a couple free games, but with that subscription service, then you're able to stream in higher resolution, higher than 720 and stuff. It's really kind of like, it's kind of convoluted, their entire setup here. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, nothing you're saying is wrong. And like, I don't want any platform to fail either, but the platform has to give something. Like, you have to give something to people.
I love the YouTube interaction that they were talking about with Stadia. And all that stuff, but and there's games in there that I like, but I already have. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, like, why would I go over there when I can boot up, God of War on my PS4, or I mean, they don't even have that, but like, I can boot up Red Dead and Gears on my Xbox, and like, I don't have a reason. I see no compelling reason to jump in yet when I'm already established. Maybe a year down the line that's going to change. I rather doubt it.
I mean, and even like when it comes down to it, like with xCloud, I believe, Xbox's streaming service that's going to be coming out. I believe that they are going to link that up with Game Pass.
Oh, absolutely. That'll absolutely be tied into Game Pass. So at least that has usability because I'm already in that ecosystem. I already have those games. I'm already getting, that stuff. It's already on my account. So if I can stream it to my phone and play for 30 minutes, at my desk or whatever, in between work, on lunch, then cool. Okay, that's neat. I'll do that. It's not going to become my main thing, but I will do it. I will appreciate the option. Stadia, I don't see it.
Stadia, you're investing in a new platform to buy a game that you already own to play it pretty much on the go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if people are gonna like go in with another $60 or whatnot for a game that they already bought just to do that, when especially if you're an Xbox gamer, and I do think Sony down the road, when it comes to PlayStation Now, they're gonna put that streaming out there again for everybody, and they're gonna market it hard, to play on multiple devices. They're gonna have like at least 3 big hitter first party going in, and then going in for 3 months and then being rotated out with another 3. Like, when it comes down to it, now Stadia might be the first one to do a quote unquote soft launch. But when you look at the potential from the streaming services as they grow, it seems like Stadia is already in 3rd place, even though they're coming out first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a weird juxtaposition, right?
Yeah. I'm like, man, that Doom, I got to agree with you guys with the Doom thing. Like, I think they would have hung their hat on Doom, let that roll out while it was like new and fresh, and then kind of put forward more of a plan once that starts calming down. So
we'll see.
I don't know.
Stadia, I am definitely in awkward wait and see mode, and we'll see what happens down the line.
I do think of all like the people making games and services for games, Google have way higher priorities than this.
Not to mention how many services they've killed.
Exactly. Like Microsoft, it goes like Windows, then Xbox, probably. Like Sony, yeah, PlayStation's pretty high. PlayStation probably higher than the actual like film and music division they have.
Hold on, for Microsoft, it goes Windows, it goes Office, it goes Azure, then it goes Xbox.
Yeah, that is correct.
You make a valid point. So yeah, I'm just Google. They're going to be absolutely fine. I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
And you know what? In a year, this service is probably going to be real good.
Well, they even said like there's going to be latency and it should be patched up within a year. You know what I'm saying? That they have technology that they're working on to really kind of curb down any latency that you'll be getting from Stadia. So, like, inherently, these quote unquote founders, they basically paid to be beta testers, is what they did. They put in the money. I shout out to my brother Mooch, because he went in on Stadia. He's a founder. J-Dub out there, my brother J-Dub, he's also a founder. And like when they talk about it in a DM, I just kind of scratch my head and then just walk away from my phone. I'm like, I'm not even going to respond to these guys right now. When it comes to what's going on with this, but I don't know. As long as Google will stick with it and invest in studios as well, come out with like first party content. I think they have one first party dev studio, right?
Just the one right now. Yes, Stadia Games and Entertainment, headed up by Jade Raymond, and they're recruiting in Montreal at the moment. Yeah. They may expand to more in the future, but right now that's
they need to. They definitely need to.
Yeah, they needed to a couple of years ago, if I'm being honest. I'm just trying to be honest. Like, it would have made a big difference. But, again, if I'll say this, the biggest sign of intent that they're here to stay, Google can possibly show, that Phil Harrison, the VP, can possibly show, is them still recruiting and still building a year or two out from now. Mm-hmm. That's step one.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Chief in the chat who said, you might be surprised. Look how Xbox started. And if I remember correctly, the OG Xbox, like when it first dropped, was the most powerful console at that point in time. And it grabbed a community of the quote unquote hardcore gamer for its features and stuff like that. I didn't see them doing anything absolutely revolutionary and going off into a space that the rest of the gaming industry just wasn't ready to go into. So I don't know what you say by like, look how Xbox started. But again, like I said, I don't want to see any platform die. Hopefully Google will stick with it. We'll keep putting money and investing into it. First party studios, increasing the third party lineup, and maybe we'll be laughing about this in a year. Like, can you believe we thought that this was an issue? Oh.
All right. So I think that wraps up our little port here. For those of you guys that know, Disney Plus is launching tonight/tomorrow. And
very quickly, sorry. We actually have a final release date for Disney Plus in the UK.
Oh, we do.
Oh, good, go.
March 31st.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
Not great, but you know what? I mean, at least there's a date, right? At least there's actually a date now.
It means that I'll have to find another way to do my job and keep up to date with all of that programming they have.
Oh my goodness!
There's so many.
VPN?
So in this time frame, we wanted to do the game one more time. In me preparing for this, there's so many more. There's just so many more I wanted to do on this list.
You're kind of
We
scary.
didn't even get into like the realm of Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah, we kind of teased that. I was looking for the one I'm thinking of, but I can't find it.
So your leg up no longer?
Maybe
You
not.
don't-
I got a backup one if it doesn't work, but
Peek behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen. About 2 minutes before we went live.
you were late. You were late.
Sam,
knew 4 minutes
you can
before we were
still
supposed to go
contact
live.
me.
Nah,
Like,
that's
I'm
too
still,
easy.
I still have a phone.
Yeah.
So about 5 minutes before we went live, Anka said, "Hey, we're going to do the game again. Have you got one?" No.
Yeah, I keep 3 in my pocket. Hold on.
Yeah.
All
Just-
right.
I constantly have Kurt Russell's filmography from his early years on hand. Like,
You mean you don't? I'm just prepared all the time.
Tango and Cash was an awesome movie, but it wasn't
Yeah.
Disney.
Who knows? In 10 years, it might be.
I know, right? They just buy everything. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
All right, 1 second. I am trying to find. I had one in mind. I knew you guys would never guess, and so I'm looking for it to see if I could find it because I don't remember when it came out.
while he finds that, what's everyone looking forward to most from Disney Plus?
I mean, it's got to be The Mandalorian.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's got to be. Right now, it's got to be. I mean, I'm looking forward to going through the backlog and finding some of those gems that I know my little brother, has never seen, and making him watch those. So that'll be fun. But right now, it's The Mandalorian. When we get closer to the other stuff that's going to be on there eventually, I'm sure I'm going to be interested. Like the show about Bucky Barnes and Falcon. That's going to be really cool. That sort of thing. But right now, it's all Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, down the line, anything MCU right now. Yeah, I am hyped to check out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was releasing today/tomorrow. So we're still here with Netflix, and I'm like, we need to switch over. I'm not going to do both. I'm not going to subscribe. To both,
you can. It's very cheap.
Yeah, it's
well, I like that
$7.
though. Yeah, I that means I get quality content and a bunch of it, and it's going to be cheaper than what I'm paying now for Netflix. And we have Sling TV over here. Shout out to my sister. Thank you. She gave me her name and password. So when it comes to The Walking Dead and stuff like that, I watch that through Sling. But anything MCU, I'm always down for MCU.
There it is. Found it.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why the answer isn't High School Musical, the series.
All right.
Hold on. I hear my mom calling
Mine
me.
is
Yeah.
well, mine. I actually want to watch the second Swiss Family Robinson movie, one from the 50s.
That was good.
I've been pining for that one to see that again.
That's good. That one's good. I haven't seen it in years, but that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually have 10 of these. I'm trying to narrow them down. So
Good God!
in
dude,
my
effort
to try to find the one I was thinking of, it took me until now to find it. But I found a bunch of good ones to do. I'm gonna get rid of the ones I think are a little more obvious. All right. So I can do an easy one. If you guys come up with one, just go ahead and jump in and we'll do that one. But so I got one. For the game that we're talking about, guys, here's how the game plays. So the way we do this is we pick a title of the movie, and we can tell you either who the director is or who's in it, and everyone else on the panel has to guess what the plot of the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get started. And so feel free to play at home. It's a pretty fun one. So if you guys have heard it, don't spoil it for the rest of us who are having a good time. We're going to go with an easier one. All right. Say Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Uh-oh. This ain't good.
That title sounds familiar.
Is the director noteworthy?
I don't think so. I don't know who this is.
Maybe say it just in case.
Robert Stevenson.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, definitely not. Any actors or actresses we'd recognize?
One. Sean Connery.
What the?
This is one of those movies where you get one name and then you have a movie.
Like Albert Sharp, Janet Monroe, Jimmy O'Day. I don't know any of these other people. It's just Sean Connery.
Wait, Jimmy O'Day?
Yeah, I
don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just really mean to a man. Just really how rude that was.
Yep.
Okay. Say the name again.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Okay. So this is a budget Gulliver's Travels. This is just a rip-off of Gulliver's Travels, starring Sean Connery, and that is as much as you'll get from me.
That's more than you'll get from me.
I kind of
agree with
like that. I kind of like that, man.
I would be shocked if it's anything other than that.
Well, Ivan?
All right. So I'm going to read you the short IMDb one.
A
wily old codger matches...
Do you mean little?
Oh my gosh. A wily old codger matches wits with the king of the leprechauns and helps play matchmaker for his daughter and the strapping young lad who has replaced him as caretaker.
Dude, I saw that movie. Holy crap.
Yep.
What?
This came out in 1959.
Holy crap.
And let me
59?
1959.
Is that before Bond?
I believe so. I'm checking right now, actually.
I think 62 was the first Bond with Connery. So yeah. Wow! Well, there you go. Dr. No was his first film. Yep. 62, I was right.
Yep.
So that's 3 years before Bond.
Sean Connery is the man, by the way. He is the man.
All right, let's do...
I mean, he's a man. He's also a terrible spy. Sorry, I'm thinking about James Bond is such a terrible spy. I hate him.
All right, this is the one I have. This is what I was thinking about earlier. All right. The title of the movie is called You Wish.
Ooh!
Wish.
I think I know this. I'm not sure. I'm going to let everyone else go, then I'll go.
The only person of note is Spencer Breslin.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. So
they have Adrian Troth, Lelaine, Tim Reed, but the only person of note is Spencer Breslin.
Okay, so I don't even know who that is. I am seriously shooting in the dark here. I cannot wait to find out how off and wrong I was.
Yes.
So this is a movie about a man involved in a tragic accident in which he accidentally releases an ancient genie spirit, and in exchange it gives him one wish, and the entire film he can't decide what the wish is. I cannot wait to find out how wrong I was.
All right, and I will say this is a movie about an orphan living in a group home makes a wish on a star for a real family, and then hence goes on their adventure.
James?
I think I think I'm wrong. I think this is the one about a girl who tries to like clone her mother and accidentally creates like a live version of her doll.
No.
Like that is an actual Disney Channel original movie.
I would not be
and
surprised.
I'm like, it's about wishing. So
that.
like, okay. Oh wait, is it the one in New Zealand?
No. So okay, I'll just read this. Alex is a high school student who always feels like he's overshadowed by his little brother Stevie, who can't get the girl of his dreams. He and his two best friends, Abby and James, are outsiders at school, and he is constantly benched on his football team. When Stevie receives a lucky coin from a strange old man, a coin which he gives to Alex, telling him to make a wish. The next day, Alex gets everything he ever wished for. Stevie is gone. In fact, he's actually the star of his own TV show, and his family doesn't even know him. Alex dates the most popular girl at school and is one of the most popular kids himself as a star of the football team. At first, he enjoys his new life, only to later find out that everything that was great in his original life is now gone. The only reason I remember this movie existing was because when in the Wished world, he gets a bulldog and it slobbers over everything.
I love bulldogs.
And I was like, wow, that's disgusting.
So basically what I'm hearing is I was closest, but that's not saying much.
No, I was closest, man. What are you talking about?
Opposite. He wishes for a family. He wishes away his family.
Get out of here. I don't watch
Let's see. If you guys got one, go ahead and jump on in.
I have one. I was able to find one.
Uh-oh.
All right. So, this movie is called Valiant. Did any of you ever see it?
Yes.
I've seen a film called Valiant, which has...
If it's what I think it is, then yes, I have seen it.
Is it the one with pigeons in World War II?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Yep. Okay, that was it. Never mind. I got nothing.
Okay. Well, that's relatively recent, man. That came out like 2007?
2005, actually.
There you go.
Ooh!
I'm tempted to tell you guys this because I'm pretty certain James knows what this is, but I honestly would have no clue. I would be totally lost if this happened. I'm gonna just do the first part of it. Greyfriars Bobby.
Nope.
What?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Greyfriars Bobby.
goodness.
Actors, I don't know any of them. It's directed by Don Chaffee as James Brown. Donald Crisp, Alan McNee. I don't know any of these people.
And that was the whole title?
Oh no, it's I'm not going to give you the rest of the title because the title gives away everything else. It's a subtitle.
What was the
you can't do that, man. You got to give the title.
He's making up rules as he goes, man. Here we go.
It's a subtitle. It's not the real title.
What the?
All right, I'll give it to you since you guys got no clue. The True Story of a Dog.
So now I know there's a dog. Wow,
Yeah.
that spoiled everything.
And now I'm going to guess that the dog dies.
That's not a story.
You dog hater.
I'm sorry, like, dogs die a lot in movies.
Anyone else?
No, I got nothing.
All right, what
Yeah.
was the whole title again? Just real quick.
Greyfriars Bobby. The True Story of a Dog.
Is it just like an hour and a half straight of a dog, like, sleeping by a fire?
I'd be okay with that.
No.
Wow, no. Is it the classic tale of a dog and its companion, like its owner moving, and it has to go through the adventure to meet back up with the family type deal?
Sort of. All right, so it's 1860.
I'm not confident on this.
1865 Scotland. An old shepherd and his little Skye Terrier Bobby go to Edinburgh.
Oh yeah, nothing gets the kids like 18th century Scotland.
But when the shepherd dies of pneumonia, the dog remains faithful to his master and refuses to be adopted by anyone, and takes to sleeping at his master's grave in the Greyfriars Kirkyard.
Jeez!
Despite a caretaker with a no dogs rule. And when Bobby is taken up for being unlicensed, it's up to the children of Edinburgh and the little provost to decide what's to be done.
Sorry, where?
Edinburgh.
That is not how you say it.
Edinburgh.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
Spoiler alert: the dog dies.
Wow. It's a movie.
I told you.
It's the movie for the entire family.
It's literally the Jurassic Park episode from Futurama.
Hey, XBot, tell me a goddamn movie about a dog that is a family movie where he doesn't die.
Benji.
Air Bud.
Okay, I mean like one that's an actual movie that isn't just like a movie.
Oh no! See, now you're moving goalposts.
You're moving goalposts here. Beethoven.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Any of the Beethoven movies?
Cujo.
Oh, you know that dog died between the movies.
Cujo.
You know there's 20 Beethovens, you know there are.
No, there's only the 5th and the 4th.
Yo, what was that movie? What was that movie with the truck driver where we saw the black dog? And it kind of like meant that like they were gonna die or something.
Pet Cemetery.
Harry Potter 3.
There's that one dog who doesn't die in Pet Cemetery.
That one dog? I made it! I
survived the Pet Cemetery! Alright,
Okay, I got one.
Alright, go for it.
Can of Worms.
Ooh.
Any actors or director?
Nope. The
year?
music is by
year?
Mark Mothersbaugh.
Oh, Mark Mothersbaugh? I actually said
yeah.
It's not Mark Mothersbaugh, it's Mark Mothersbaugh.
Okay, thank you. I did not know that.
Yes. He was lead singer.
Devo, right?
Devo, yes. And he also did the theme for Rugrats and like pretty much every child's TV show ever.
He also did the score for Thor Ragnarok. I know this as well.
And he also did Pee-wee's Playhouse. So
he's a crazy dude.
He's
so yes, Can of Worms. I will. I feel like I should give you a helping hand because that is just the title. 1999.
1999. It's about kids who are doing a science fair project. It involves a worm farm. And things don't go quite according to plan.
It is your classic bully and meek and mild student clash together type movie. You know, opening up a can of worms.
Okay.
No? Okay.
Sam, you got anything?
It's the story of how a young boy reconnects after his mother remarries because his father was abusive, and he connects to his stepfather through the magic of fishing.
And all you forgot to say was a dog dies. Yeah.
Mike Pillsbury is a teenage boy who believes that he is an alien and does not belong on Earth. That is the first sentence.
Amazing.
Mike is injured during a football game and sees an alien as part of a hallucination. He wonders if football is the right sport for him, but his father, a former football player, insists he stick with the sport. He is surprised when Caitlin Sandman, a popular girl at school, requests his help in decorating the school for the upcoming Halloween dance party. Mike's foe, Scott Schreibner, who is a player on Mike's football team and a friend of Caitlin's, sabotages the light and music equipment during the party. Mike, upset, leaves and uses a satellite dish to send a message to outer space asking to be rescued. Lighting subsequently destroys the satellite dish. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole Wikipedia article because it's quite long. Then a dog shows up who's voiced by Malcolm McDowell.
Wait, what?
I forgot to mention Malcolm McDowell.
You didn't mention. That's literally that's a pretty big one.
Okay,
I'm still laughing at a dog shows up voiced
I'll
by.
take. Okay, the dog who is also an alien, but looks like a golden retriever, talks to Mike and tells him that he's accidentally opened a can of worms, like a literal can of worms, but the can is a portal to an alien world.
Wow.
And then Mike, for like 20, 30 minutes of the movie, like runtime, continues to believe that he's hallucinating, despite an alien lawyer showing up and showing that he's like, "You've got serious law trouble, man." And then he gets like captured and taken onto this alien world, and when he was on Earth, he was like doodling like, "Oh, this is what I want my alien to be in the book that I'm never going to write." And then that alien shows up later in the movie, so it's like, it's a weird one. I remember watching it, and I don't remember much about it, but yeah.
I'm still stuck on the dog comes through, voiced by
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. This is my last one. Well, maybe. So, this one, its IMDb page does not actually even tell you the plot.
Ooh, hot damn!
Like it is literally one sentence, but it is so vague it helps you with nothing. So it's called The Luck of the Irish. I'm just gonna read you. None of these people exist. It's got Ron Merriman, Henry Gibson, Alexis Lopez, Paul Kiernan.
We've lost XBot and Sam.
Oh snap! We lost him. All right, there we go.
Oh, one of them's back.
I gotta give him. There we go. I got Xbox bat.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I got sucked into an alternate universe. It was like a can of worms, man. There were aliens. It was just weird.
There was a very old English speaking dog.
Yeah.
There he is.
He tried to tell me something, but it's something about me being an alien. I don't believe strange dogs.
And that I'm being sued.
All right, so I'll repeat the title. This is called The Luck of the Irish. It has nobody.
It's
directed by Paul Hohen.
It is the run of the mill, started at the bottom, but gained popularity and about a football player with the Notre Dame. Okay, the football player Notre Dame, kind of walk on stuff like that, and the story of how kind of like a Rudy type thing, man.
All right, fair.
I'm gonna stick with sport, but because it's Disney, I'm gonna say it's something. It's popular enough that people know what it is, but no one actually does it properly. So, like,
log toss,
jet skiing.
All right.
And we know that the Irish love to jet ski because it's an island country.
Yes. Of course.
It's literally called Ireland. And so it's about the very fierce competitive jet skiing league in surrounding the Boston area, where there are lots of Irish people living there.
And let me guess, they go and jet ski to...
And the music that plays during the final race is Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, wow.
I can tell you that's not possible because that song wasn't even out yet.
Damn it.
Dang it.
But yeah, go ahead. Sam?
Well, I was going to say Killer Leprechaun, and then I realized, no, wait, that's Leprechaun. So, And
it's Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a man realizes that a curse has been put on his family unless he can make reparations to the woodland fairy that his great-great-grandfather insulted in the war a long time ago. I'm scraping the barrel here, y'all.
I'm scared.
Because the IMDb description is so short, I'm just going to read you the Wikipedia plot synopsis. Because it just gets better and better.
Oh, no.
All right. Popular junior high school basketball player Kyle Johnson learns that his high school is putting on a special event called Heritage Day, a celebration for everyone of different heritages. He asks his parents, but they're reluctant to tell him the truth about where his family came from, insisting they're from Cleveland. Over the weekend, Kyle and his best friend Russell attend an Irish carnival. Afterwards, strange things happen. Kyle begins shrinking. His hair turns red, and his ears become pointed. His mother, Kate, starts speaking in an Irish accent and confesses that his family is Irish. She changes her hairstyle and starts making Irish foods. It eventually shrinks to only a foot tall. His father is American and from Cleveland. I don't know why they bothered to mention that. At school, during science class, Kyle realizes his lucky gold coin was stolen when the fake coin he was wearing stuck to a magnet he was using. It turned out that the gold coin Kyle wore was his O'Reilly lucky coin. A magic coin, when in the possession of the youngest family member, allows all the leprechauns in the family to pass as normal human beings. But since the coin is gone, the family is down to their luck now and reverting to their true forms. At first, his mother believes that her 200-year-old father, Riley O'Reilly, I'm not kidding, his name is literally Riley O'Reilly, stole the coin, and they decide to go back to his potato chip factory to get it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Once again, I'm going to claim that on technicality I was closest.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, XBot did say it's sort of like Rudy. A small sportsman. I'm like, this is very close to that.
Wow. Dude, You know what? You just scored points with me for that one, brother.
So the only thing with this one is
I like that movie, but I hate the sport.
The only thing with this one is that the end of it is like they basically get like the grandfather back, and they have to like do him in like Irish competitions until he gets to the point where they end up like having a basketball game, and they're leprechauns, so that's funny. So Kyle and Russell find themselves in a basketball game with Seamus and his forces on the opposing team, commanding.
Oh, of course, it's called Seamus.
Russell gains confidence improves when Kyle's grandfather gives him a fake magic lucky coin, and just it's totally messed up.
Sorry, is this just Leprechaun Space Jam?
Yes.
That's one way of putting it.
Monstars, baby. Oh my
Leprechaun goodness. Stars.
You know, guys, just playing this game with you, I have come to the realization that I will never guess the plots to the older, more obscure Disney movies that have come out, man.
This movie came out
that is the point of the game.
It came out in 2001?
Yeah. Disney Channel exclusive, baby. Disney Channel has some weird stuff. Really weird stuff. What was it? They had one. You guys can hear me yet? We're still disconnected. Hello.
I think that the game bugged out and like bugged him out of this chat.
I'm here.
Yep.
I kicked myself out to get back in. All I was saying was
Fallout 76 was disconnecting you. Like, no, come here. Yeah. Focus here.
No, so all that really happened, at least in this case, was that this is a very weird movie. Disney Channel had some weird stuff, but I will say I got to meet Ashley Force. They did a movie. I think it was with Lindsay Lohan before she went crazy. And they did a movie with her where she was talking about like drag racing, and so she was like in a Top Fuel, like a dragster, and they did a movie about it. I remember the movie existing. I still think it's Lohan.
Herbie Fully Loaded?
No, an actual drag racing thing, like with a drag.
Oh, I remember a drag racing movie.
Yeah.
On Disney Channel. I don't think it had Lindsay Lohan in it.
I think it was. I'm pretty certain it was. Let me see.
Didn't Lindsay Lohan was a part of the Herbie reboot, right?
Yes.
All right.
Right on Track. That was the name of the movie.
There's my knowledge right there. Like everybody in the chat. There it is.
I've seen that one. It's good. Or at least I remember it being not terrible.
That movie is based on a true story about Ashley Force. Who I've actually met.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Because like she has her sister. It's about like two sisters and they do drag racing, whatever. Anyway, so I met them, and yeah, they said the movie wasn't even remotely close. So, yeah. So anyway, that was fun. But yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here because we're kind of late. Thank you guys for tuning out, or tuning in, not tuning out.
Tuning in, turning out. You know.
Same difference to us.
This is later than usual.
As Eddie Izzard said in the film Across the Universe, tune in, tune out, switch on, switch off, and explode.
Exactly. Just do that.
All right, we're going to do our outros here. Let's do it with our guest, XBot. Where can the good people find you, sir?
Yeah, well, first off, man, thanks for having me on again. Dude, that was a lot of fun. The game was a little scary at first, but definitely a lot of laughs, man. That was awesome. I am on YouTube. I have a small channel on YouTube. It is called XBot448. I occasionally stream on Mixer as well. The best way to get a hold of my content or just to, talk to me in general would probably be on Twitter, which you probably would have guessed this. It's at XBot448.
Really?
Yeah. Anybody out there who hasn't hit the thumbs up button yet, you need to do so. This was an awesome show. Guys, I had an absolute blast, and I hope you have me on again.
Dude, it was fun just goofing. Thank you for coming on to goof around with us and just go back into the dark, slimy depths of Disney nonsense.
brother, it was such a refreshing change of pace, man. It seems like lately, whatever show I'm on, except maybe next podcast on my channel, but whatever show I'm on, I feel like I am fighting for my life just to put common sense out there right now when it comes to gaming news, man. So it was a lot of fun. Great change of pace, man.
Hey, man, that's what I like to hear.
We were glad to have you. Yep.
Yeah, good to talk to you, man.
All right. So, James, where can the people find you, sir?
The people can find me on the tweets where I'm not banned. At James_S Wilson. Yeah, at least not this week. And I think I might try and turn that into my new sign-off. Just tune in, tune off, drop in, switch off, switch on, and explode.
Boom!
Like it. All right, and Sam?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Samuel Tolbert. That's TOLBERT. You can find everything I write on Windows Central, Android Central, and iMore.
All right, and I'm Anchorman V2. You guys know how to find me. I'm on everything that's worth being on. And
Disney Plus.
And this has been episode 143 of Multiverse Show, greatest show on Mondays, and we are out of here.